Two things. Number one, it will be decided in October. So we are preparing the ground. We want to be ready. We want to be trained, but it will not be decided until October 23.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I'm personally convinced that we have to move ahead is a situation like the one we are in now. We are dependent on the supply of gas by a very unfriendly country. I don't want Europe to be dependent on an unfriendly country's currency. For instance, I don't know, the Chinese currency, the Russian currency, the whatever. Or dependent on a friendly currency, but which is activated by a private corporate entity like, Facebook or like Google or anybody like.
I'm user of Bitcoin too, so I had bought it when it started, and I hope that it also will work through the special system. And I know there are many protests in Europe against the electronic euro. What is the reason?
It's the beauty of Europe. It has different positions. If you ask in Northern Europe, for instance, in the Netherlands, they're quite happy to see the e-euro coming. If you ask a young German man, he'll say, yeah, fine. As I said, I don't want Meta, Google, or Amazon to suddenly come up with a currency that would take over the sovereignty of Europe. I don't want a foreign currency to become the currency of trading within Europe. So we have to be ready.
No, the problem is they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to.
Yeah, but you know what? Now we have in Europe this threshold. Above 1,000 euros, you cannot pay cash. If you do, you are on the grey market. You take your risk. You get caught, you are fined, or you go in jail. But the digital euro is going to have a limited amount of control. There will be control. You're right. You're completely right. We are considering whether for very small amounts, anything that is around 300, 400 euros, we could have a mechanism where there is zero control. But that could be dangerous. The terrorist attacks on France back 10 years ago were entirely financed by those very small anonymous credit cards that you can recharge in total anonymity.
The question is now I think that it's a joke, like a joke, that the next currency will be firewoods for Europe.
Will be what?
Firewoods to hit the
Yeah.
So it's like a joke. It's like a joke from Russian side.
Well, they can get lost.
And my question is, do you think that the policy of previous authorities with the IMF, I mean Poroshenko, led to a crisis? Because I got many terrible situation in economics when I became a president. So because he probably has stole some loans for Ukraine for his interests, and we forced it to raise the pensions and tariffs for a long time, and it led to the critical situation, and Russia used it.
I think, first of all, the IMF did the best that it could do to help and support Ukraine. You know as well as I do that the country was not in perfect shape. You know as well as I do that there were some very strange characters who abused the situation, who had their own militias, who had their own system that certainly took advantage of what was tried both by the IMF, by the United States in order to help Ukraine. But, you cannot rewrite history. And I think that at the time, the loan by the IMF, the program that was initiated, was necessary, and had it not happened, would have been devastating for Ukraine. So was it 100% well implemented? Certainly not.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you very much. I'm really happy to talk to you. Thank you. Have a great day with your colleagues.
You too.
Okay, thank you.
We waren een lekker.